I know this is one of the best weeks of our lives here. We come here and we see everybody we know, but also, be part of the event. So who knows what Cambridge have in store for next year? I'm curious, but it's going to be hard to beat. So, but so far so good.
Oh, Dan.
They told her it wasn't possible. They insisted she was only a basketball star, nothing more. But a single swing set the internet on fire. Caitlin Clark didn't simply grab a golf club. She grabbed the entire sports universe and turned it on its head. Tiger Woods stared in disbelief. Nelly Korda froze halfway through her swing. And by the time Caitlin's ball sliced cleanly through the Florida sky, someone thousands of miles away was already spiraling in panic.
I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
That someone was WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. And if you're watching this right now, tap that like button, because this story goes way beyond golf. This is about control. It's about power. It's about a superstar who refused to be boxed in any longer. For months, Caitlin Clark carried the WNBA on her back. She was the biggest name, the biggest draw, the reason the spotlight stayed on.
The LPGA understand what's great for business. Not what's good for business, what's great. It'd be nice if the WNBA could get with the program. It'd be nice if you didn't allow your greatest asset to get beat up and hacked and fouled 94 feet and be targeted since day one of stepping into the league. It'd be nice. It'd be smart. You'd be better off. But you guys are going to do what you want to do.
She was the reason arenas finally filled up, and yet she was never fully embraced. Instead, she was hacked, shoved, ridiculed, dismissed. Fans were told to relax. Her greatness was called hype, but Caitlin stayed quiet. She kept smiling. She kept rewriting record books until she found a stage that actually valued her. That's when the LPGA reached out, and when Caitlin Clark accepted the invitation to the Annika Pro-Am, the world witnessed something it wasn't prepared for. That morning felt calm, but beneath the Florida sun, history was loading. Caitlin stepped onto the tee.
What that could do for their sport. They understand that let's say 1,000 new eyeballs, 10,000 new eyeballs show up. If only they could get a fraction of those new eyeballs to become fans, they understand that's a win. They understand that that's a bonus. They understand that's not the opportunity that comes across them every single day. So they need to capitalize on this moment. We also had the speaking engagement that Caitlin Clark took part in last season. I'm assuming we're going to run it all back. We're going to run it all back. We're going to have the speaking engagement, the panel.
The gallery was already packed, 10 rows deep, cameras lined every angle. The Golf Channel cut in live mid-round just to track her swing. Then it happened. The sound, clean, sharp, perfect, rang across the course. Tiger Woods, standing behind the ropes, could only shake his head. Nelly Korda smiled. In that moment, everyone understood this wasn't a novelty appearance. This was instant dominance. Social media erupted. Caitlin Clark golf exploded worldwide. LPGA ticket sales jumped overnight. Websites crashed. For the first time, golf was trending above basketball.
For bringing all these eyeballs and, the Caitlin Clark effect that we talk about, viewership, money, all of those things. All of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season, this is an instance where we are proved correct. You see her at this event, you see the kind of noise that this is making, you see that this is trending on social media, you see that SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, all of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything. That's what we were talking about this whole season. We were correct. The fans that were saying that the WNBA seems to be trying to quiet the noise of Caitlin Clark, not letting her shine to her full ability, and not, in turn, not helping your own players in the league, we were right. And this event proved it, because the LPGA did literally everything correct. They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there. Caitlin was signing autographs. They put their best golfer in the...
They put their top golfer in the spotlight, but elsewhere. Back in New York, Kathy Engelbert was watching the numbers stack up, and her expression told the whole story. Panic. Real panic. Because the one player she believed she could manage was now dictating everything. Kathy had cautioned her. You represent this league. Stay locked in, avoid distractions. Caitlyn didn't comply. She was done being restricted. While the commissioner tried to rein her in, golf welcomed her, while WNBA players knocked her. To the floor, golfers embraced her. While basketball pundits questioned her, golf celebrated her.
How did her?
It was so amazing. She's so sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here, and to see how
Tiger Woods called her a natural. Kathy couldn't mask it anymore. This was the nightmare scenario. Sponsors were dialing the LPGA instead of the WNBA. Fans were drifting across sports. Even players inside the league began questioning everything. Rumors spread fast. Names like Sophie Cunningham were linked to golf partnerships. Others were eyeing independent paths. Suddenly, 2026 looked unstable. What Kathy failed to see was the bigger truth. Caitlyn didn't just step into golf, she ignited a movement. Every swing clip, every laugh beside Nelly Korda went viral. Millions of views, millions of likes, and one message echoed louder than all the rest. The WNBA didn't deserve her. That message stung, but it resonated, because while golf leaned into the moment, the WNBA kept letting it slip away. For Kathy Engelbert, this was no longer a PR headache, it was structural collapse. The foundation began to crack. Insiders whispered about tense meetings. Sponsors demanded clarity. Owners started asking the one question no commissioner ever wants to hear. Did we just lose the face of women's sports? Section 8. By the time Caitlin Clark walked off the course, the damage was irreversible. She didn't need a trophy. She'd already won, because this was never about a scorecard. It was about respect. Golf fans embraced her. Legends honored her. The internet crowned her a crossover queen. And somewhere, Kathy Engelbert sat in silence as every major outlet ran the same headline.
Earlier, they actually had odds that, she was like third or fourth in the betting odds to be MVP of the WNBA. That's such a slap in the face to every WNBA.
That headline didn't fade by the next news cycle. It multiplied. Sports shows replayed the footage on loop. Analysts slowed down her swing frame by frame, not just to admire the technique, but to understand what it represented. This wasn't a crossover gimmick. This wasn't a publicity stunt. This was a star discovering what it felt like to be welcomed without conditions. For years, Caitlin Clark had been told to stay in her lane, to be grateful, to not draw too much attention, to let the league decide when she was allowed to shine. But golf didn't ask her to shrink. It didn't ask her to explain herself. It simply gave her space and watched what happened. And what happened terrified the people who had built systems around control. Behind closed doors, conversations turned urgent. Executives questioned strategy. Media partners asked whether the WNBA had mishandled its most marketable athlete. Sponsors ran numbers that no one wanted to say out loud. Because the truth was becoming harder to deny. Attention follows respect, not contracts. Meanwhile, Caitlyn didn't say much at all. She didn't post a victory speech. She didn't take shots at the league. She didn't fuel the controversy. She let the silence do the work for her. And in that silence, fans projected something powerful. Freedom, choice, possibility. Young athletes noticed. Players in college, overseas, in developmental leagues all watched closely. Not just because Caitlyn played well, but because she looked happy, relaxed, untethered. For the first time, she wasn't bracing for contact or criticism. She was smiling because she wanted to, not because she was expected to. That difference mattered. It sent a message louder than any press release ever could. Greatness doesn't belong to one league. It belongs to the athlete willing to claim it. By the end of the week, debates filled every corner of sports media. Was this the future of women's sports? Multi-sport stars choosing environments that value them? Leagues competing not just for talent, but for trust. Some called it dangerous. Others called it inevitable. What no one could call it was accidental, because Caitlin Clark didn't stumble into this moment. She arrived at it after years of being tested, underestimated, and told to wait her turn. Golf didn't change her. It revealed her, and somewhere in that realization was the part that unsettled everyone the most. If one player could shift the conversation this fast, what would happen if others followed? The idea lingered like a crack in glass, small at first, then spreading. For the WNBA, the question wasn't whether Caitlyn would come back, it was whether the league could afford to keep treating stars like assets instead of partners. Because once an athlete experiences respect without resistance, it's hard to accept anything less. Caitlyn knew that. She didn't need to announce anything. She didn't need to threaten anyone. The leverage already existed. It lived in view. Counts, ticket spikes, and a global audience that had just learned how transferable greatness really was. And for the first time, the power dynamic had shifted, not because someone demanded it, but because someone walked away from being minimized and discovered how loud the world becomes when it finally listens. Whatever came next, one thing was certain: sports would never look at her the same way again, and neither would the athletes watching, wondering what might happen if they stopped asking for permission too.